Energy, it's just... I'm not full
I will
energy for Persona 3 Reload right now. Second day of summer school.
Let's get on with today's lesson.
I know it's hot class everyone, but just try to get to class. Focus, focus. Still, you would have thought the people who actually attend this... Who would have thought people would actually attend this course over the summer? You sure are a curious lot. I'm not sure to make it bad. Well, anyways, let's talk about something interesting today. All you future magicians want to pay close attention. Today's subject is tarot. That's right, those cards used in fortune telling. Oh no. Not reading. Not the reading. I'm literally going to save and end the stream after this. Hold on. There are a variety of tarot card decks, including the Marcelli and the Rider decks. But today, in honor of the great Crowley, we will be using the Thoth deck.
So, continuing on.
First, let's talk about the composition of the deck. In the modern 78 card tarot deck is divided up into two parts. There's 22 major arcana, the face cards, 56 minor arcanas, and the number cards. The minor cards are also something called pip cards. Oh, Pip-Boy! Like Ronvallo. The major arcana features a variety of illustrations on their face, beginning with the Fool and ending with the universe. They tell a story in numerical order that represents an individual's journey through life. Each major arcana represents a stage on that journey, and each stage represents an event an individual must experience to achieve wholesomeness.
Let's do just that.
They are important, so let's take a look at each of the 22 cards one by one. The first card, numbered 0, is the Fool. It represents beginnings and suggests infinite possibilities. I need to get my speech in check, hold on. In other words, the beginning of life. The next card, the Magician, represents action and initiative, but also immaturity. The High Priestess represents contemplation and inner knowledge. Because I'll be speaking, and then my tongue will just... So, when I'm just talking, I feel like... Though, whenever I'm normally talking, I feel like I'm just talking out of my ass. But the thing is, I can get it clear and straight, like, consistently. Like, I can just keep talking, like, oh... Ain't that crazy that this happened? I can just keep talking straight, but whenever I'm reading off something like... The Empress represents both motherhood and material... Yeah, like, see, I fumbled like that. Love is one is vitality. The Emperor is an opposing card. It represents fatherhood as well as the... Yeah, see... It's the reading. My reading skills aren't that great, but when... No, my talking skills when reading something isn't that great, but... When I'm just talking, I feel like $1,000, as well as leadership and decision-making skills. The Hierophant represents formality and the knowledge. It is a symbol for religion, and sometimes I'll just add words like that. Like I was saying, the Lovers represents choice. Here, the individual finally begins to develop like decisions. The Chariot represents the individual's victory, but only a momentarily one. The Justice is exactly what it sounds like, knowing what it is and what is wrong. I add words to make it sound more sense in my mind. The Hermit represents self-reflection. In other words, searching for answers deep within one's heart. Fortune represents fate and the opportunity it brings. Strength represents both passion and self-control. It is depicted as the power with reason. The Hangman, oh my god. The Hangman reflects the individual inability to take action. The spiritual death awaits the individual with the 13th card, which is aptly named Death. Death is considered a transitional card. With death, the old ends, and a new begins.
Alright.
Now let's move on what happens following the transition. Temperance is a balancing of opposites. Openings... See? Openings... When it just says opening... Opening one's eye... Oh my goodness. Opening one's eye to the world allows for growth, and then when an encounter with the devil is one where one faces temptation. At the tower, the individual values will start to collapse. It seems as if there is nothing to believe in. The individual then finds a glimmer of hope in the star, granting one peace and serenity. In turn, this makes one vulnerable to the moon's illusions, which give it away to fear and trepidation. But the individual may be rewarded with a bright future by the sun, which signifies true achievement. Judgment awaits the individual at the journey's end when looking back on the path one has traveled. The final card is Zawado, the universe, which represents the individual reaching full awareness. And that's the growth of the individual as explained by the tarot cards. Perhaps all this talk about life doesn't hit home with you young folks just yet.
Well then.
Well, now, you can use all 78 cards to divine the future in detail. Why are they not giving me evenings though? But most people can only use the 22 major arcana. Alright, now let's talk about the fortune telling using the minor arcana. Is he gonna keep talking? Holy shit, dude! First you'll need to shuffle the cards. Dude, even... This has been going so long that even the thing has looped. First you'll need to shuffle the cards. If the card is reversed, its meaning will change. Now this is important, so pay attention. Oh my, thank God! No more reading. Despite the summer heat, I managed to pay attention to his lecture. Damn, okay. Even they just gave me the academics.
Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. You can feel the frost and touch the sky. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. You can feel the frost and touch the sky.